Hi y'all, Jamie here. Welcome to Dig It Homesteading. And I have with me my very unhappy looking vanilla orchid. It's not even properly tied up, so I'm going to attempt to transplant this into a different type of system and hopefully make it a little bit happier now that the weather has chilled out a little bit. Maybe it won't be so stressed. And I do have a little bonus plant for you at the end. So this was my very sad attempt at trying to give it something to grow up until I could figure something out. This part hasn't done any growing, of course. These tendrils are all dried up. It has been a brutal year, but look at that. These are new leaves. That's new growth. So the plant is on the up and up, and I did have it hanging, but I tried to trellis it as well because just because it would get better light where I could hang it. So I'm gonna have to figure something else about that because I will not be hanging it. So I have this pot. It is a self-wicking pot, and I'm going to keep all these heavy stones in there so I can put the plant and a new thing to trellis it on in here, and I can control whether I put water in here or not. So during the hottest part of the year I can keep this with water in it, and it can take care of itself if I get forgetful, which I absolutely do. And this is the system that I've decided to go with. It has like 4 poles in it. I'll just show you. So it has 4 poles in it, and they all come with spikes, you can see in there. But it also comes with little bonus things like twine and your floral type velcro-y tape stuff, and this, which is that hard wire stuff like bread wrapper. I don't think for a plant like this that I would want to use this. I do use it in other ways, but not on something like this. Okay, so there's 4 tall poles and 2 short poles. So you get quite a bit, and I can link this below. I haven't ever used it before, but it has that natural looking fiber. I can't remember now if it is natural fiber. It probably is, but don't quote me on it. So this is going to be a trial, and I will try and update y'all later if it worked out well for it. So you can moisten these poles because it has aerial roots, and those aerial roots can also pull in the moisture and nutrients. So we're going to try to get this sorted. I'm going to get it transplanted and show you what it looks like. Alright, so as I am looking through the box, I wanted to show y'all. It says we offer free lifetime repair and a 30-day no reason refund service. So free lifetime repair, that's amazing. I'll quickly show you, like, they make this super easy. You just pop that out, the stick comes out. Let me try to do it one-handed. And then you put the stick in this side. And I am going to put the little plug back in on this, but I will show you before, the inside of this pole doesn't have any perforations, so you can't like water into the stick. Down at the bottom where where the wood stick was, there was some perforation, so you can just moisten it on the outside instead of going from the inside, in case you're wondering. So there's what it looks like, and I have chose to put this in first, but I did put a little bit of the substrate in there to hold it, and I'm gonna just finish and show you what I got. Okay, so this is very interesting, and just remember, I'm no expert, but I am in an area that you could potentially get vanilla bean. So if I could ever work out this plant, leave your tips in the comments, I could potentially get vanilla bean. But this is an aerial root, and that has grown down into the substrate and formed a root ball. So like I said, this plant was highly struggling. It gave me all kinds of grief. And I did talk to some orchid experts, and they just told me to water it and keep it alive while we were going through such high temperatures. But look, this is the main stem and where the roots would have originally been. So this little guy saved this plant, which is awesome. So I'm going to cut this off and clean this plant up a little bit. But yeah, totally cool plant that can dive down into the dirt and save itself. And I do believe this one is one that can grow in part soil and part this. And I do have a lot of this spag moss in here because it dries out really bad. And I want to keep it a little bit more moist than any of my other orchids. One tip I can give you from growing orchids, regular orchids, normal orchids, is to apply cinnamon to anywhere you cut because it's antimicrobial and antifungal. So that will help protect your open wounds on your plant. And just so you know, when you take this out, that leaves the opening big enough where you can stack another pole on top as your plant grows. And I've seen a lot of people use these for monsteras. And I do have monsteras, but I don't have indoor growing space because we just have horrible windows for plants inside. But there she is. I just let her slowly wrap around where she wanted to as she comes out here. I don't know if it will ever grow from that. Can you see how that looks? I don't know if we'll ever get any more growth out of that tip, but this one's definitely growing. And the pole doesn't go down quite as far as I'd like into the medium. So I might just put some stones around here just to secure it in. And I have left this. It is green, but it doesn't have the roots. The bottom of this is where I cut the roots off. So this was the original. So I'm going to just leave this on because it's a thicker base to help hold this plant up than the teeny tiny spindly little aerial root that has went down into here. So this is giving it some sturdiness in the pot instead of stressing itself out. What you think? Let me know in the comments if I need to make changes because like I said, I am still learning about these, but I really hope that these poles do good. I like the way they look. I do wish the peg was a little shorter. I could always chop off the peg and put it a lower in there. Lots of options. Okay, so to give it the best opportunity to not fall over even more, I decided to use that planter. I might lower it a bit more. So now between the rocks and that plant, even when we get super windy around here, she should be okay. I need to monitor her for light here for tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it gets just the same light as it did where it was hanging, but I'll check and make sure. Alright, so here's your bonus plant. You know what it is? I'll show you. Cherry of the Rio Grande. And I believe this might be the same as a Barbados cherry. I don't really know. But it's lovely and it's big. And now I need to try to decide if it's going to be hardy in my area, if it's going to be potted, or if we're going to put it in the ground, because we can't grow cherry trees here. There is definitely not enough cold for them. Cold hardiness to 20F. We got down to 18. And I'm pretty sure my Barbados cherry, which was a Barbados cherry, got murdered because of that. So let me know what you think. If you know more about that plant, should I stick it in the ground and just plan to cover it if we get a extreme frost like we did last winter, which is not the norm for us, or should I pot it? into a bigger pot. I don't know. Y'all let me know. I don't want to kill one. They're not that cheap. They're not that easy to come by. You'll let me know what you think. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me in my vanilla orchid drama. You know those special plants you just want to take really good care of, but you might not know how? That's that. I don't know how it's still alive, but it is. So if I can grow it, you can grow it. And anyway, love you. Thanks for all you're doing for our channel. It's growing leaps and bounds, and that's all because of y'all. And we appreciate y'all. Until the next one, love you. Bye-bye.